Welcome to the Sales Influence Podcast, where we talk about finding the why in how people buy. I'm your host, Victor Antonio, and today I want to talk about the black box of selling. What an ominous title that is, the black box of selling. Now, before I tell you how it applies to sales and how you can use it in selling, let me set the story up. So, I have, and most people don't know this, a bachelor's degree, a Bachelor of Science degree in electrical engineering. Yes, I started out in engineering before I moved into sales. The short version of why was I started engineering, didn't really like it, tried several different positions, but when I found sales, it's like I found my place, my utopia, my Shangri-La, the place I wanted to be in. Being able to help people with my products and services, explaining things technically, and also selling at the same time was a great 1-2 combination for me, and I got into sales. That's what I love about selling. I really love helping clients. Now, back in my engineering days, I took a course. It was a digital course, and this was my second digital course where in the first course of digital programming, you learn about Boolean algebra, the ones and zeros, your AND circuits, your NAND circuits, your OR circuits, or NORs, or inverters, so forth and so on. If you missed all of that, don't worry about it. The nerds get it. But you learn about Boolean algebra, right? Ones and zeros, the digital world. And one of the exercises in our labs was to actually design a circuit. The way the school was programmed was you would actually learn something and then go into a lab and practice what you just learned. So we had to learn how to decipher circuits. So here's how it was set up. There was a box, literally a black box set in front of us, right? Inside that black box was a specific circuit. Now, our job was to determine how that circuit was configured inside the box. Now, you're probably saying, well, what do you have to have? X-ray vision? No. The way it was set up, it was a black box. It had 4 signal wires going in, and then 1 output coming out the other side. So you had 4 inputs, 1 output. And our job was to create different combinations of inputs and then observe the output. This is key. Listen to this. And to input different circuit signals, different combinations of ones and zeros, and then monitor the output to determine what type of circuit it might be. Now, this was one of those processes where you had to go through all different combinations to eliminate or include what might be in that circuit. And after a while, you can kind of figure it out. It wasn't easy to do, but you can figure it out. By using several different combinations of what's going in, you figured out what was coming out, and after a while, through many iterations, you figured out the circuit. Then you had to design the circuit and then show that to the instructor to complete the class. Now, why is this, or how does this relate to sales? I kind of want you to start thinking about sales in this fashion, that sales is a black box sometimes. Sometimes we win a deal. We win a large sale, right? Especially if it's a B2B business type of sale. Not that you can't use it with B2C, but in B2B more specifically, sometimes we win a sale. And sometimes the sales cycle could be a month, 2 months, maybe even 6 months, and you win the deal. And then we're so happy as salespeople, we just go out and celebrate that big commission check, right? What I want you to start thinking about is this black box approach to selling. I want you to ask yourself, maybe stop for a moment and ask yourself, whether it's a retail sale, B2C or B2B, ask yourself, why did you win that sale? Reflect on that specific sale. We don't do that enough. We don't really stop to think about, how did I win that sale? Okay, what happened? How did I do it? What was different about this sale? What were some of the dynamics involved in this sale that allowed me to win it? What were the conditions? Who were the people involved, the decision makers who were not involved or who were involved? It's almost like you want to deconstruct, much like the black box, by looking at the inputs, the things we did. The output was a sale, but I want you to stop and look at, why did we win that sale? What were the conditions? Step number 1 is to reflect on the sale. What did we do? What was different? What were the conditions? Were the decision makers in the room or not in the room? What type of people were in the room? What did we do to win the sale? A second place to look for more information to determine how you won the sale is to maybe ask people who supported the sale. Again, if you're in a big B2B type of sales scenario, maybe you had people helping you on that sale. Like you may have had, let's say, an application engineer, a technical support person, a customer service person. Maybe ask them, somebody outside of you, hey, why do you think we won this deal? From your perspective, what did you see? In fact, they may have talked to the customer, and maybe you can ask them, hey, did you talk to the customer? Why did they decide to go with us? Out of curiosity, what's your perspective? And then gather that information as well. So one is reflect on the sale. Why do you think you won the deal? 2, ask a support person, somebody who worked with you on that deal, and get their perspective. And last but not least, after you've closed the deal, and you've delivered on your product or service commitments, maybe go back to that client. And I'm not saying do this to all of them, but maybe go back to 1 or 2 specific clients and ask them, why did you buy from us? Why did you choose us? What did we do differently that our competitors didn't do? Why our product? What was it that made you go with us? Now, this is important because your customer had to make a very difficult decision, especially if it was a very expensive purchase. And that's where I think you're going to get the most valuable pieces of information from your customer. Let your customer tell you, guide you in how you won the sale. Much like the black box, if you monitor, you reflect on your sale, what you did. You ask the support person, why do you think we won? And then maybe you talk to the customers and they give you their perspective. And maybe by combining all these 3 perspectives, you now have an understanding of what it takes to win future deals. And I really want you to start thinking about this because it's always important to review your wins. We don't do that in selling enough. We don't stop and ask ourselves, why did we win? We're so busy celebrating that we actually won the deal that we never ask ourselves why. Now, look at your deals, and maybe if you have a colleague in sales selling the same product, maybe compare notes with them. And what are we trying to get to here? What we're trying to get to here is a consistent process. Because if you begin to reflect on how you won the sale, and you look at different, let's say, sales, different deals that you won, you might start finding commonalities. And then you say, what's common about all of these is A, B, C, D. Now you have the points of commonality. When you talk to the support person, they may also start coming up with commonalities. Every time you ask them about a different deal, you get the same response. We did this, and we didn't do that, and that's why they bought. Or talking to your clients, same thing. You might find those common points. Now, this is important because now you can go back to your sales process and make sure that you consistently do those things that you've discovered will help you win the deal. Again, we don't do this enough. Sometimes we have to stop, celebrate for a moment, but as soon as we're done celebrating, we deliver the product or service and the customer's happy. Let's go back and talk to that customer. Let's talk to our customer service people. But more importantly, I want you, yes, you listening to me right now, to reflect on why did you win that sale? And maybe you can pick 1 or 2 customers a month to really think about and reflect on, and maybe that'll start building your internal database on how to win more sales consistently. So that's it for this podcast. 1, let me know what you think about this podcast, suggestions, topics, maybe new topics, or maybe ways I can improve on this podcast. Number 2, don't forget to check out my video training programs at seminarsonselling.com. Please check those out. Last but not least, I want to thank you for your time. This is Victor Antonio, always reminding you, selling ain't hard when you know how. Take care.
Every manager can feel it. The difference between a motivated, value-driven sales team and one that's stuck in a rut. CEOs know the difference too. They can see it clearly in the profit and loss columns. The question is, how do you get your team to this elite level? Is there something extra you can do to break through the remaining resistance and equip them with the right mindset to grow your business? Yes, there is. But you're not going to do it with one of those cheesy inspirational speakers or some self-proclaimed guru. What you need is someone with a real business track record to deliver key insights in a captivating way, to give your team the right tools for selling in today's tough marketplace. Enter Victor Antonio, experienced executive, innovative thinker, compelling speaker. He's ready to deliver the message you need your people to hear. Not with a canned speech, but a customized, dynamic keynote designed to deliver results. Bring Victor Antonio to your next event before the competition does. Go to www.victorantonio.com for more information.